Welcome to the frustrations of an alt account. I don't care, to be honest. Reinhardt on my main account is benched. He's 3,000. He's 3,000 hero merit, so I don't really use him all too much. I don't use him at all, honestly, anymore.
I won't be left behind.
Okay, so I saw some messages. Let me read out what we got here. Jampy Dampy says, I think you neglect that the game benefits more from a free-to-play player than someone not playing. And I'm assuming you mean paying. Because if you're free-to-play, that's good. Like, that's still better than not playing at all. Okay, yeah. I didn't say that not playing is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. If you're going to choose between spending money, being free to play, and not playing at all, being free to play is definitely better than not playing at all, because then it shows an audience that of course the game is going to say, hey, you know, maybe we can get these guys to like the game enough that they'll spend a little bit of money to show that they like the game. Laser Candy Store says, what is your pity right now? It's definitely 8.5%. Vadodev says, the thing is, the game is not donation based. People should feel that they get something for their money, and that only happens when you spend enough to get 60 orbs or so.
Spring is here.
I don't necessarily agree with that, Vado. What you value is different based on both the company and you as a person, okay? Somebody completing their circle, like their orb circle, might be higher value than somebody who's wailing for, you know, another plus 10 unit. It really could be. That's totally a preference. So if someone's walking in and saying, okay, I'm gonna spend $5 and complete this circle, that could mean more to them than actually it's the other dude over there that's already wailed for like his 6 plus 10 unit. Super Orange says, supporting the game is important. The gadget system is just a very harsh monetization system to deal with when you want to design your in-game experience. Well, yeah, obviously. The game doesn't cater to you getting what you want unless you spend a lot. And that's not what I'm trying to encourage. I'm encouraging a small amount to show your support to the game. It's kind of the same mentality, actually, as why would anyone sub to a Twitch streamer? Why do you guys sub to me? Like, I don't give you anything. What do I give you? You know? So, at least in Fire Emblem Heroes, you might get a 3-star Azama. Well, what am I giving you if you sub to me or give me a donation? You know, like, it's I feel like it's me. Okay, I give you memes section. Twitch chat, man. Why do I even ask you guys? Meeple says, at least in Twitch subs you're guaranteed fun emotes. One emote isn't worth $5, I don't think. Or even the best streamers, I don't even think emotes are necessarily worth $5. Like I said, that's a value, right? It's a value thing. I don't consider it worth it. A lot of people don't, I'm sure, because if it was, then there would be a lot more subs on Twitch. Hey, look, it's Epi, Worry Fighter, cool. I agree with PhD Steel. He says, I don't know, I feel like all things considered this game isn't that harsh on free-to-play anyway. A bunch of top-tier units are free and a lot of limited resources don't need that many OP units to obtain. Dev says, the game is about 5 stars. Right now, I think that they're not rewarding enough for the people that don't spend that much. Very few investments feels more like donation than actually buying something. Twitch is not the same thing because we actually receive the content. So we pay so we can keep receiving, in my opinion, right now. The business model on Farm of Heroes only puts the whales and some people that spend quite a few in the game. They don't get the players that want to pay just $10. I don't think you're getting my point of view though. A lot of you guys aren't really getting that idea. A donation to a company from someone who's free to play, and trust me, I know this because I've worked in a corporation before. If someone who doesn't spend a lot of money or none at all of a sudden decides to spend money, that is tracked, boys. In fact, someone like a whale is not considered that important to a corporation or company than someone who's just broken their free-to-play cherry, by the way. So unless you guys have worked for an actual corporation or company that actually tracks these financial things, then you would know better than to randomly say, oh yeah, my $10 donation doesn't really matter. Trust me, it does. And they try any way they can to try to satisfy that player base. So what I'm saying is, if the company did something right, meaning like the IRA incident, okay, let me just say the IRA incident, for instance. If the company is, you know, that free-to-play player, the person who spends less all of a sudden decided not to spend any money, the company's gonna realize that they screwed up, okay? But the whale that always spends, you know, for that 10 plus 10, they're just like, whatever, man, like that's expected. It's a way for you to make a statement in the game whether it's going in the right direction or not. If they screw up with something like IRA, you don't give them a penny. That way you tell them, yeah, you screwed up, and then they fix it. And then you give them $5-10 and they're like, oh, okay, we did something right. The most of the, like, one person whaling is not as important to a company as that one, as like hundreds of people giving $5, because that's like saying, you know, we're doing something right. But if one dude is like, oh, I'm gonna whale for like 20,000 units, yeah, okay, it looks good on their corporate statements, but it actually isn't that good if no one else is spending anything, because they know they're not doing the right thing overall for the player base, you know? They want the free-to-play players to spend that money because they want some sort of indication that they're doing something right. What I'm saying is, if you like the game, you can make that statement. If you just choose to be free to play forever, how does the company know that you are, you know, they're doing right or wrong? By you remaining silent, you're not helping. You're not voicing anything. Because otherwise the company has no idea whether they're doing things right or wrong. Alright, let's read some of these comments. It's not about what you get out of it. You guys don't get that. I'm not here to tell you you're gonna pull Hector if you spend $10, okay? This isn't about what you're getting out of it. This is about you explaining to the company, yo, you guys did a good job. Here's my way of showing it. No, you don't get a receipt saying, oh yeah, we listened to you. No, you just gotta know how actual corporations and companies work. Kazerman says, you know... Oh, yes. Oh, shit. I'm trying to have a decent conversation here, Medi. Thanks for subbing, bro. Mia thanks you. You're the real MVP. Shit, man. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with this? I'll open the way. Thanks, Medi. Alright, hold on. Oh, I was reading stuff. Okay. Kazermiss. Okay, Akariss, you know how to get the most value out of a Twitch sub? Pay for Amazon Prime so you get a free sub on Twitch. You're paying for a different service and you're getting a free Twitch sub on the side. Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. I used to have Amazon Prime when I lived in Canada, and that was definitely good value to support like my favorite streamer. And it technically comes out of like the corporation's pocket, but then it technically comes out of my pocket too. So I guess it's not really the corporation's pocket. What the heck? What quest is this? All 4 allies must survive? Crap. I totally messed that up. Wasn't paying attention. Okay, alright, yeah, okay, sorry. I gotta catch up on chat. What are we at? Meepo says...
Well, leave it to me.
Comparing a Twitch streamer to a corporate company is way off base, where a Twitch streamer will always appreciate it while a company will think more along saying, how can we get them to spend more? Let's put one of the new characters in a banner separate from the others. You guys might not realize this, but not all Twitch streamers appreciate you giving them money. Just as a heads up.
Beautiful.
A lot of Twitch streamers see Twitch chat and Twitch in general as an ATM bank. Have you not seen some of the content on Twitch that has like $500 donation bars that say my trip to like Cuba or something? Like, how is that helping anyone other than the selfish decision of the streamer himself or herself? You're not really giving back to the chat by saying pay for my vacation, you know? Like, I understand when a Twitch streamer decides to take on a full-time job as a Twitch streamer, and even then I still think it's a little iffy to be like asking directly for money. You can say like, please donate because this helps pay for my bills and my food, and as a result it keeps me motivated to stream and provide you with content. Like, that makes sense. But to say pay for my vacation is kind of off base in my opinion. Like, that just seems a little bit off base.
Yes? Beautiful. What should I do?
As you will.
Okay, let's continue reading. So what my point is, not every single Twitch streamer is like totally thankful. It depends on the person, really it does. It really depends on the person.
I'll go with you.
Itsy Bitsy Web Spinner says, Akariss, did you study economics? Economics is part of my degree. I had a degree in social sciences, which takes into account economics, ethics, moralities, law, sociology, psychology, philosophy. Social science is a very general degree,
yes,
but it makes you quite aware of the world, so to speak.
What should I do?
Leave it to me.
Super Orange says, you can see IS trying to satisfy the player base, but they're also very exploitive in how they push the envelope. Oh yeah, I agree. Like, some of the stuff, like the Iris stuff, really burned me the wrong way, and I didn't spend a cent until they announced the weapon refinery, and that was kind of like them redeeming themselves, you know, like, this is like, hey, okay, we're going to fix our problem. We're gonna fix our problem of, you know, what we did with Ira and make all units viable now. So I'm like, okay, great, I can support the game. You did a good decision. Here's me spending money on the game.
Spring is sprung.
Meepo says, you're saying spend some money and hope they get what we're trying to say. Lol, okay. I don't hope that. I know that, man. It's a fact. It really is. I'm not sure if you've worked for any sort of corporations before, but this stuff is tracked like no tomorrow.
Yes?
Understood. Shall we?
And I can guarantee to you that numbers that aren't strictly based on one individual are not as important as someone who's
I'll go with you.
Yes.
as like the collective group of people spending money. Trust me. The collective group of people spending money is way more valuable to a company and for positive information than one dude spending $1 million. Like, you ever realize in like those corporate statements that they have, like quarter statements, they're always like, oh yeah, our game has 2 million people playing the game now, you know, like, okay, you know, why would they even bother saying those things when, what, 1.5 million of those people don't even spend money? No, it means that all those players or people show that they like the game, they care for it, and potentially could support the game.
I'll go with you.
Captain Lizard says, what's better on Spring Camilla now, Green Egg or Raven Tome? It's Raven Tome. I mean, I guess you could go for some weird, like, close counter Green Egg Camilla tank build or something? Maybe? It's kind of interesting, actually. Maybe I should do that.
Yes? Leave it to me.
Sounds legit.
Well, yes. Spring has sprung.
Shall we?
Schleppel says, Akariss, why are you pulling for Fjorm? Fjorm gives blessings, which
Understood.
means that...
Beautiful.
As you will.
I'll go with you.
Sorry,
Shall
I'm
we?
still trying to play the game. It means that basically she has Ice Mirror and stuff and all these skills that increase my arena score, and she also gives blessings and extra arena score to Wendy and Sheena, which are the two main units in my team. BattleDev says, I don't know, maybe they could make something that will make your first 20 orbs of the month worth more, but right now I talk a lot to my free-to-play friends. I'm not free-to-play, by the way, and this is an issue. What would I get for $10? Okay, BattleDev, I do agree with your statement, actually. If you guys have ever played Clash Royale, for instance, anytime you reach like a new arena, they have like this bundle pack to basically congratulate you on,
What should I do?
you know,
Yes.
getting better at the game.
Leave it to me.
And I feel like Fire Emblem should probably incorporate something like this to incentivize people
Spring
to
is
spend
sprung.
money for good value. Basically, the people who spend a little bit, they would spend a little bit because they get good value out of their money, like $10 or something. So I kind of agree with your statement, and that would be a way for them to
Leave it to me.
entice people in a
I'll
way
go
that
with
isn't
you.
scummy.
Shall we?
Trip to Cuba. Which streamers treat this as a business? Yeah, it depends on the Twitch streamer, it really does. Don't get me wrong though, if a Twitch streamer is like doing this as their full-time job, I don't think that's bad, nor do I don't think it's bad unless you make it very exploitative of your audience, where you're like trying to, you know, make as much money as possible, and your thankfulness doesn't seem genuine. Like you're like, I don't know, setting all these donation goals that seem really pointless. Like you're not really trying to increase the quality of your stream or give back to your community in any way by doing extra content or being more consistent with your stream schedule. I don't know, something to show that you're like actually caring about the people that support you, you know? For instance, you guys have subbed to me, some of you, and some of you have given me bits and whatever, and I have a good mic right now, and I wouldn't have this good mic if it wasn't for you guys. Like, that's not, why would I buy this microphone if it wasn't for you guys, you know? So that's my way of showing you, yeah, I give a crap. Or I could be still talking to you guys with my crappy toilet microphone if you prefer. Like that's an example of someone showing. And it's true, a lot of Twitch streamers actually do that. They do give back to the community by providing better content, having better equipment, being more consistent on their schedule, being interactive, whatever it may be. So those are there's a lot of the good ones, and there are some people that
Yes?
are questionable.
Understood. As you will.
Donate $5,000 so I can get a new car. Oh my god, please no. Meepo says, so what if we all spend like $5? They'll stop making power creep?
Well,
That's not necessarily how it works.
Shall we?
well, I'll go with you.
Okay, if they release something that stops power creep, that's when you spend money to say good job.
Beautiful.
And
Leave it to
then
me.
when they release something that's like Ira, then you don't give them a cent. And that's your way of showing, yeah, you screwed up because you didn't give them a cent, or you gave them money when they
What should I do?
when they were, you know, being good.
Well,
That's my point right now. You give them money when they do good things, and you don't give them money when they don't do good things. Joe Frag says, they have a way to leave feedback in game. That's good enough for me if I want to send a message. I'm not going to throw money away to hope that Lincoln speaks for me. Lincoln always speaks for companies, in case you're wondering. When it comes to companies, actually the only thing that they listen to is the money, not your feedback, not your customer feedback. In fact, I'm very likely to tell you up front, after working in IT, the people that they are more likely to listen to are the people that spend money over the ones that don't. And if you spent even $5, I've worked in customer service, even if you spent $5, sometimes they treat the person that spent $5 better than the person that would spend $1,000. And let me tell you why. The person that spends $5 consistently and spends a lot of time on the game could be more valuable than the whale that spends $1,000. Because over the long term, that person that spent $5 could have a very good word of mouth to basically tell their friends, hey, this game is great, and then they could entice whales in here to basically like spend money. Or, you know, they could be playing for a really long time, like 5 years, 10 years, where those $5 a month adds up to, you know, being like a reliable, loyal customer that has word of mouth. So that $5 a month customer could be just as valuable as that whale that spent $1,000 in 1 month and then said, you know, he's done. You know, that's it. Trust me, that other person is just as valuable. Is there a comment box every time you pay for orbs? Every time you get a 5-star, please leave a review. Kappa Kappa 123.
I won't be left behind.
Pretty sure whale income is more stable. I don't agree either with that statement.
Yes?
I mean, look at me, guys. Would you consider me a whale? I'm only plus 10 for Mia, and I'm not going to plus 10 any other unit. The person that spends $10 a month is likely to outspend what I have spent on this game in potentially a shorter time if I were to stop playing. I won't stop playing though, but let's assume somebody came into this game wanting the 1 unit,
Spring is
and then
spring.
they like quit after a month or two. And trust me, I have a lot of friends that have quit. I won't quit because I really like Fire Emblem, but there are people that would quit,
Shall we?
even if they like Fire Emblem.
Understood.
I'll go with you.
As you
I have really big fans that don't play Fire Emblem. I mean, that don't play Fire Emblem Heroes, but play Fire Emblem. They have, you know, spent a bit of money on the
Shall
game,
we?
and then they stop playing.
Understood. Yes?
Beautiful. Yes? What should I do? Yes? I'll go with you.
Desync, 1 sec.
What should I do?
I'm like falling behind on chat. This is such a freaking like big conversation right now.
Shall we?
Yes? Spring is sprung. I'll go with you.
Leave it to me. As you will.
Well,
Okay, I'm skipping a little bit of the chat, just so I can catch up at the bottom, because I feel like I'm talking to you guys from like 5 minutes ago. I'm just reading what you guys said. I agree with what Kuriko said. Basically, it's not a good idea to say free to play if you have the means and ability to support the game, because you can make a statement based on how much money you spend in the game. Oh. I didn't realize the game was like half off the screen. Hulkman says, Akariss, what do you think they're going to do with Roy? Roy is going to end up hopefully getting a Binding Blade upgrade soon enough. Kiriko says, if anything, even spending money for one orb is a good idea. That way you'll have more account security if you ever lose it. You'll have proof that this is your account because you spent money on it. Kiriko also brings up another good point. If you do have some sort of money spent on the game, then it has more credibility with recovery of the accounts or if something were to happen.
Shall we?
Man, talk about philosophical discussions. I feel like I'm back in university right now. Big debates and discussions about why one thing is better than another thing. Meepo says, I'm never gonna spend money unless it guarantees me something.
I'll go with you.
You must not be very old, Meepo. There's a lot of things in this world where you spend money and it doesn't guarantee you anything.
I won't be left behind.
Free to play, by the way, at the end of every sentence. Oh my god. Alright, one more orb. I think that's enough.
I'll open the way.
I definitely think that's enough. Meepo says, I want my games to at least guarantee me something. Life already has so many expenses. It's really ironic that you would say that, though, because money itself is a very strange thing. Are you really getting anything out of spending money on anything if you want to really be philosophical about it? Any video game that you buy is only a memory or an experience that you have. So technically spending money on anything, even materialistic things, don't really matter because once you're dead, once you pass away, you can't really keep those things. Oh god, no, he's going full Socrates. Yo, I totally studied Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato for like years in university, but seriously, if you really want to go full like philosophical on me, boys, trust me, you don't really
A knight must never fall.
you don't really gain anything out of anything if you're just gonna end up dead anyways. The only true value you can have is if you were to somehow live forever. Are you sponsored by IS or something? I don't have Nintendo stocks actually. I have stuff